You are now tuned into the greatest.
Keep your radio right here.
It's DJ Infared. It's the code.
What's going on? The heavy hitter DJ Infared. You know what it is. HipHopX Radio. We got Fabo in the building. Brooklyn.
You already know.
What's going on, boy?
Man, just making the rounds, had to stop by and check y'all out real quick.
Word. So you got a new project coming out?
Yeah, man. Summertime Shootout 3, Black Friday. Back with some more holiday vibes, man. Catch these vibes real quick.
Yeah, it's crazy because I was listening to some of the joints. You got B.o.m.b.s out?
Yeah. Let B.o.m.b.s. I had to let B.o.m.b.s out. I put out Choosy first just to, go a different direction. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, I came back with B.o.m.b.s because I didn't want people to think like, oh, yo, Fab on a different on some different type of time. So wanted to come back with B.o.m.b.s, which is more like traditionally what people know me for, and definitely that kind of energy.
Yeah, and I seen a Choosy record. You decided to go do it in Cape Verde.
Yeah. That's another thing too. Just doing something different. I wanted to even do something different with the video. You know what I mean? The video had the song itself had Afrobeat kind of vibe to it. So I wanted to go to Africa and actually not just go to the same places in Africa that a lot of people go to, which is also dope, but just go somewhere new that people don't touch as much, you know what I'm saying, or may have heard about, which myself, my whole career I've been going to Boston and Rhode Island and hearing a lot about Cape Verde and the Cape Verdean people, and so I was like, yo, I got an opportunity, man. Well, let's go over here, let's shoot the video over here, and touch the people a little bit and see something different at the same time, and that's what we did, man.
I appreciate it 100% because I'm Cape Verdean.
Oh wow!
So you know what I'm saying. So when I seen that, I was like, all right, cool.
Word.
And it's crazy because I remember back in the day, I think you was on a Trina record and you talked about Cape Verdean girls and shit.
Yeah, so that just came from just the interaction up in Boston and you know what I mean, and Rhode Island up there. Like they had a lot of them people in a lot of the people in the same area. You know what I'm saying? I don't know why they migrated to there, you know what I'm saying? But there was a lot in that area, and I used to always hear it. So, that's why now you fast forward all the way to now. It's like I got the opportunity to go, man. Let's go over there. And it's a beautiful island country, you know what I'm saying? It's a lot of parts of Africa you go to, it don't look the way Cape Verde look because Cape Verde is more island feel, you know what I'm saying? Whereas you may go to Nigeria or something, it's the country and you feel, more of the country feel. So, we got a chance to really see something that we never experienced before, man. And even taking the whole crew out there, to, even the camera guys and getting them to shoot and get in touch with the people. Like all the people were fun loving. They came out and vibe with us. You know what I mean? We were shooting and they came and wanted to be a part of it. And that wasn't even our agenda to go out there because we didn't. Also, sometimes that looks like you exploiting a little bit sometimes. So you know what I mean? We wanted to go out there and also connect with the people. So we connected with the Prime Minister as well, and he was like, yo, when y'all come back, let's do something. And we connected with different people. So my foundation gonna work with some people from Cape Verde and do some things. So it was all around it was a good overall trip, you know what I'm saying?
That's what's up, man.
It was a dope way to do a video.
Yeah, and you always do something different. I already peeped that. Like from the beginning of your career, you always been different. So like even you going to Cape Verde and then shine a light there. I know Boston fucks with you heavy.
Oh yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. That was one of the reasons too of going, you know what I'm saying? Just because my fanship has always been up east, you know what I'm saying, between, Providence and Boston, and they've always showed that love, and like I said, I always ran into people from there, and they always they have a love for a country. People that come from anybody who come from somewhere else, they always pump their country up. So
100%.
Sometimes you just take it as that, like you just from there, you just pump it. So, but I heard it so much about Cape Verde. I'm like, yo, one day I gotta go there. You know what I'm saying? And that's how we ended up there.
That's dope. And you brought your family with you too, right?
Yeah, I brought my lady. I brought Emily with me. I brought the whole crew. We went around. We saw all different parts of the island. We went to Black Sand Beach there. We went to, we ate with the natives. We did everything that we could enjoy the trip. We was there for a few days. You know what I'm saying? So it was a good trip overall, man. I even like that experience more than just like shooting a video in New York or LA because this is places we've been and always been from. But when you go somewhere else, you also are learning at the same time and experiencing. So that made the video even more special to me too.
Nah, that's what's up. And me coming up, you know what I'm saying, my family's all from Brooklyn, so I came up in Brooklyn. When you was coming up, I was out there.
Right.
So I remember seeing you, and I always thought like, yo, Fab is like throughout his whole career, he's always kept Brooklyn in the forefront. You know what I'm saying? You always, no matter where you go, you always Brooklyn. Like, what is it about Brooklyn for people that never been there that you know that connects with you? That, you know what I'm saying?
Brooklyn got that pride, man. You know what I'm saying? It's like, I don't care where I go. I ain't gonna even lie. Like, I ain't gonna hold you. If I go to Japan and be like, if it's Brooklyn in the house, we gonna see one here and be like, yo, I'm from Brooklyn. Like, it's crazy.
Nah,
like, it's really like, I don't care where you go, man. You go to Antarctica, there's one Brooklyn nigga out there, like, and he like, yo, man, yo, that's crazy, you came all the way out here, you know what I'm saying? Like, you be like, what the fuck are you doing here? He like, yo, man, I'm out here, you know what I'm saying? But I'm from Brooklyn, and they still got, that. The craziest shit is they still got that Brooklyn pride, too, no matter where they go. You know what I'm saying? No matter where they at, they still, you know what I'm saying, right? They might have a Brooklyn hat on or a Brooklyn tee, they all the way in Brazil, you know what I'm saying? Like, so, you know what I mean? It's just a pride of where you come from, man, and I think Brooklyn always had that. I think, you know, when Biggie won the Source Award, he went up there and said it was for Brooklyn. You know what I'm saying? It's just like a pride of where you come from. You know what I mean?
Nah, and speaking of that pride, I remember when, like, I remember first hearing you, I think it was like 98, you did a freestyle with Clue and Nori. And then I was like, yo, and you was Fabolous Sport at the time. And then I got, you know, my family in Park Slope. I got family in Fort Greene. And then some of my people's like, yo, he went to high school with me.
Shout out Park Slope and Fort Greene.
You know what I'm saying? Brooklyn heavy. And but I have people like, yo, he went to John Jay with us. And then other people, yo, he went to Westinghouse. So like, just to clear it up, where'd you go to school at in Brooklyn?
I went to school all over, to be honest. So I went to the Old Boys High. I went to, a lot of people don't know too, I went to a school in Manhattan called Art and Design.
Word.
And I was, like, I used to draw. So, you know, I like was starting to like really get into drawing. So I signed up to and I didn't really think that I was gonna get accepted to that school. Like, I thought I was just doing it and my mom wanted me to go there. So, you know, but then I got accepted. So I was just like, damn, so I gotta go there. And I went there and it was cool. You know, I ended up low key going a different way and being a different kind of artist. But I like, you know, that was one of my like passions too, that I like to draw at the time too. So I went there. Like I said, I went to the Old Boys High. I went to it's another kind of school where you do like a job, and they give you credits like
a Votech,
like a Votech, like a Votech school. I went to one of those. Man, I went to people who might have seen me in John Jay or like Westinghouse, because I went to like night schools too. I went to all kind of schools, bro. Like like for a little bit. So like, people might have seen me a little bit of everywhere, but I didn't go to them. I didn't go to like Westinghouse or John Jay during the day.
Yeah, word.
I only went to like Boys and Girls High and Art and Design, and then like from there it was like alternative high schools and stuff. So I bounced around a little bit, man, but I landed here, so I think
it worked out.
Did well. Yeah.
No, that's what's up. So the reason why I was talking about the schools too, because the Art and Design school, you know, let's get into the art, like the clothes. Like I think you and Cam might have the two most immaculate swags in hip hop history.
Oh man,
like
I think it comes from one. You know, New York has its own style. You know what I'm saying? Even like how you say, Harlem got a style, Brooklyn got a style. I think also that come into play with your style. You know what I'm saying?
Word.
What you think is fly. Fashion to me is really what you comfortable in. You know what I'm saying? Like it's things you can, other little pieces you can add to your swag or what you like, but it's really what you feel comfortable in. You can see, you know, he got on a sky blue shirt and you put it on you and you be like, nah, I don't feel the same in this, you know what I mean, as I feel in my royal blue Orlando jacket, and it's just really what makes you feel good and what feels comfortable on you. So that's how I play fashion. Like, you know what I mean, what I like and what's comfortable to me. I don't like really try to chase a trend or like wear what somebody else is like, cause what look good on somebody else might not look good on you. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people in this, you know, in this generation too, and a lot of people are impressionable, so they see, you know, artists or whoever wearing something, they want to wear it cause they wearing it, but that might not be your thing. You know what I'm saying? I like to wear what I like to wear. You know, some days I'm more casual and I'm wearing a sweatsuit. Some days I might wear a suit. You know what I mean? It's really in your comfort and your how you feel, you know what I'm saying? What make you feel good, you know what I mean?
Nah, facts. So like, you know, speaking of fashion and stuff, we're coming to an ending of a decade, right? Mm-hmm. So like, what do you think in the last decade was like the most influential sneakers or clothing or anything like that? What do you think was the most influential in the last decade?
Of course, J's, man.
Like if there was one pair of sneakers.
One? It's hard because I'm trying to toss up between like maybe J's and Yeezys. I think Yeezys Um, one because it was hip hop artist driven, and then also him changing the like shape and silhouette of a sneaker and comfort in a sneaker. You know what I'm saying? But it's hard to take J's out of the equation because of how long it's been a factor in shoes. You know what I'm saying? Like Michael Jordan don't even play basketball. There's kids wearing these that they don't know why they wearing them. You know what I'm saying? They just Jordans. You know what I'm saying? They don't have no connection to. You know, we growing up, we had a connection to Jordan and seeing him play, and then that made you want to get the shoes because he wearing the shoes, but they don't even have that. You know what I'm saying? Like they guys now they watching LeBron and Kyrie and even them with having shoes. I'm not sure they'll still have the same connections that Jordan had in that time. So for him to be 30 years later, from the 90s to now we in 2019, like you're saying, still having a connection, I have to put those two up there as like the most influential of our decade.
Word. And if we could do an album, what would you say? Ending of a decade, last 10 years.
Last 10 years.
Most influential album.
I think I want to say, I'm just not sure when this album came out. I think, you know, the project where Kanye was singing.
The Dark Twisted Fantasies.
No, not that one. The joint where he had like the suit on with a heart.
Oh, the Heartbreak and 808s.
If you look at that project, how you know the melody and singing. If you look at what's going on now. It's a lot of that, and the auto tune too, because there was a lot of auto tune on that project. That's a lot of what's drifted and shifted into between him and Wayne.
Word.
I would say Wayne might have been the appearance just because he was one of the first with the dreads and the tats and even him with the auto tune too. Like that blended into this, I guess, 2010 to 2020.
What's going on now?
You know what I'm saying? Like it was It definitely, I would definitely say those two, one with appearance and one with the sound. That Kanye sound of the auto tune and melody, and you know, it was hip hop, but it still was melody driven. I would even, okay. I would even say like you know some of the Kanye thing drifts into the Drake lane, and I think Drake came about. 2008, you know what I'm saying? 2008-ish, 2009, where Drake came in, but I think that morphed into his, you know, next decade of music too, where he was, you know, at first I think he was just more rap, but then he kind of caught into that melody bag too.
It's kind of crazy, like how influential Kanye's been in hip hop. Period.
Yeah,
like
definitely.
Clothing, music, all of that. Like,
and it's of the time. Every decade or so, you're gonna see one artist who, you know, may be at the top at that certain time that drifts into everybody else. You know what I'm saying? It's like, I believe in the 90s though, it was less influential too. I think there was so many people doing so many different things that you could appreciate everybody for what they were doing. Even if you look at one group, if you look at Wu-Tang, there's 9 guys in there, but all 9 of them were
everybody all
different.
Doing
you know what I'm saying? And I think that's what was happening in the 90s, and I think towards the 2000s where hip hop was growing, and you've seen it on more platforms and videos were more. You know, the 90s went from it being underground to the 2000s. It was like a boom. You know what I'm saying?
Word.
With clothing lines, with the Rockawares and so on. Everything just exploded a little bit, like in the early 2000s, and you know, but it produced, you know, people who influenced, you know what I mean? And some people influenced long. I would say Kanye influenced a very long period.
100%.
I would say Wayne influenced a long period. I think at the time, 50 was influencing a lot of things that was coming out after that time too. You know, I think as gangster rap changed a little bit, then that, you know, that's why his influence didn't last as long as you say Kanye's would. And then Kanye also was doing things in different avenues, so fashion and music and, you know, different things that he was doing. That also makes your influence bigger because it wasn't just people wanted to rap or sound like him. They also wanted to dress like you. They want to, you know what I mean? So definitely Ye, definitely Wayne. I even think at a time I had an influence where a lot of guys were looking for their fab. You know what I'm saying?
Word.
Like, I don't want to say names of people, so like the soundbite come out saying I'm saying these
Yeah,
guys
nah,
are trying to be me. But
100%.
like if you look at like certain, people were signing people at a time where you would look at Jay and they signed the Young Guns, or Swiss signed Cassidy, or 50 had his Banks. Like all of them, you needed like your fab for your team.
Yeah,
You know what I'm
yeah,
saying?
yeah,
And I
definitely.
think that was like an early 2000s thing too. And also Melody came in a lot in the 2000s as well, between like the Nellies and the T-Pains, and it's different influence. Some was shorter, but I definitely, to answer your question all the way, I think Ye.
Yeah.
Maybe secondly behind him, I would say Wayne.
That's dope. That's dope, man. So, like, speaking of you, let's get back to you. Your influence has been crazy, because I feel like out of all the artists that's been out for as long as you've been out, you stay super consistent. I don't ever see you like dipping. You know, you got some artists, they hot and then they dip. I feel like you just stay consistent the whole time. How do you do that, like, for so long and then?
Man, I mean, ain't really no recipe, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, if I knew, I would probably bottle this shit up and sell it to young artists. Like, yo, man, I'm telling you, drink this Fab juice, nigga. You gonna last for 20 years, you know what I'm saying? But it's just really me being, I'm comfortable with myself, and then I'm also aware of what's going on. Like, so if things change, you don't want to be the guy that don't accept change or adapt to change. You know what I'm saying? You want to look at things, you want to learn. I'm a student too. As long as I've been doing this, I still learn shit every day. You learn shit on social media, like, anything.
Yeah,
like, you know what I'm saying? So with me, I just adapt. But at the same time, I stay true to what I do. You know what I'm saying? I think when people hear me and hear my music, they can assess to that and say, like, you know what I mean? That's some fab music. That's what fab do, and that's what keep me in my lane. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I don't swerve out of it. I don't try to jump in other people's lanes. You know what I'm saying? And when you're on your own lane, it's less traffic. You know what I'm saying?
Facts. So speaking of your own lane, man, we got the Summertime Shootouts 3 coming out next week.
Yep, Black Friday.
Do we have any
November
features?
29th.
We got any features that we should be looking for? Anything like
We
that?
got a bunch of features, man. One thing about this project, it was vibe driven. I was definitely speaking on, like, things that was going on with me throughout the summer, and and people ask, like, why do the title saying Summertime Shootout and it's coming out in winter, because it's really kind of like a recap of your summer.
Word.
You know what I'm saying? Or a look forward to the next summer. You know what I mean? I took the project there instead of all the time you're making music in the summer about the summer.
Yeah,
I'm like,
word.
you know what I mean? You might be in September and be like, damn, that was a wild summer I just had. You know what I'm saying? And you just recapping on that and building on that. So that's where I went with there. But feature-wise, it was just guys that I had worked with all through the year. Meek Mill is on there. Lil Durk is on there. Who else is on there? I got a couple new guys. A guy named Josh K out of Chicago that I've been working with. Jeremiah is on there. DeVito, of course. Roddy Ricch from out of LA, he's on there.
He's hot.
Yeah, man, Roddy's a
Love that
beast,
kid.
man. You know what I mean? I popped up on him at his birthday party out here. He just turned 21. You know what I mean? It's just it's ill. You know what I mean? I just had a birthday that just passed, and it's just ill. Just seeing young guys come in the game, and like he talking to me like, yo, man, I don't even have parties. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, this like one of the first times I ever threw a birthday party for myself, and I'm just like, man, well, you better get used to it, because you're gonna be. People gonna either throw you a party, or you're gonna be throwing yourself a party. If that's your thing, you know what I'm saying? Everybody ain't a party person, so maybe that's why you ain't have a party. But I told them that to enjoy it, you know what I mean? Celebrate life, you know what I'm saying? It's for you. You live 21 years on this age, you're successful, you're doing your thing, God has placed you in the right position, so celebrate that, man. And he was like, yo, I'm gonna take it as that, you know what I mean? That's real.
No, that's what's up. So, like, do you have any of these young kids that are out now that you sit there and you haven't worked with, that you want to work with?
Yeah, definitely, man. I like a lot of the energy that's going on, especially a lot of the energy in New York. You know what I'm saying? It's just a matter of time of when, it come together. And I'm perfect. I'm a relations guy and a time guy. You know what I'm saying? I don't like to force nothing. Like, when it happen, we get in there. It's usually once it does actually happen, it's 1, 2, 3. You know what I'm saying? So, even like how I said the Roddy thing, that was just us in the studio vibing, and he said to me like, yo, I think this will work with you, Fab. And I went, grabbed it, knocked it out. You know what I'm saying? Jacquees, I had a joint with Jacquees, and it's like, yo, man, you you the king of R&B. I need you on this right here. He's like, oh man, I'm gonna knock this out for you, OG. It's nothing. You know what I'm saying? So it's a lot of different artists that I work with. It's just on our relation and how we build and kick it, and then you know, it happens from there.
Nah, that's what's up. So you already know DJ Infared, heavy hitters in the building.
Yes, sir.
HipHopX Radio, FABO in the building. Make sure y'all get that Summertime Shootouts 3 coming out.
Yes, sir.
On Friday.
Yes, sir.
27th.
29th.
29th, my bad.
Don't lead these people wrong.
You know what it is. Let's go. Dash Radio, baby.
All right.